You might have heard the term financial freedom being used in all sorts of videos on YouTube or articles on the internet. You may have even heard of the FIRE movement and have set your sights on achieving financial independence to retire from your 9-to-5 job. But what is financial freedom, and how much do you really need to achieve it? In this video, we're going to look at what it is, how to achieve it, and the parts of your lifestyle that can have a profound impact on your ability to achieve financial freedom as quick as possible. Financial freedom is interesting because it's different for everyone. Our financial situations vary depending on our lifestyle, our commitments, whether they be mortgages, family, education, and a lot of time can come down to luck and the hand we were dealt in life. Today, we're going to explore how we can take control of our financial future and what it is going to take for us to achieve financial freedom and not have to rely on a job for an income. Financial freedom isn't just about making lots of money to buy what we want and live the life of our dreams. It's about freedom. The ability to be able to dedicate our time to pursuing our hobbies, life passions, and spending time with family rather than committing to weekdays to a job we're not all that interested in. Calculating what it will take for you to achieve your financial freedom is important, as it sets an end goal for you to work towards. It might seem a bit daunting at first to look at that number and think, I'm nowhere near this right now, but writing down your lifetime goals and breaking them down into smaller, more manageable pieces that you can work towards on a monthly, weekly, or even daily basis will make the end result seem much more manageable. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. The first thing you're going to need to do to calculate your financial freedom is to work out all your expenses in a given month, and I mean all of them. Things like housing, whether that be mortgage or rent, bills and utilities, food, subscriptions, lifestyle hobbies, and disposable income or spending money. You can do this by going through your bank statement. Do it for a few months and find a true average across all of them to give you a better idea. Once you've got that number, add a 15 to 20% contingency on top of this for emergency spending and unforeseen expenses, like repairs and maintenance on your home or car, medical expenses, and others. Make sure that as well as this, you already have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund set to one side, preferably a 6-month fund. Another expense we have to factor is tax. Income made through investments, depending on how much and where it is invested, can be subject to taxation. For this reason, add an additional 30% on top of your current figure. This might be more than needed, but it gives us a further cushion. Once you have your monthly expenses worked out, multiply it by 12 to give you an annual figure. This is how much you'll need to make as a regular income per year to cover all of your expenses and live your current lifestyle. Those highlighted elements are critical. Finding a regular income source instead of your job is an essential part of achieving financial freedom. Additionally, if your current lifestyle isn't what you intend to keep to and are expecting to spend more in the future, then this number is not an accurate representation of your financial future, and you will have to factor in those added costs. So how do we go about achieving this much income per year? What we now have to do is invest in an income generating asset to provide a consistent and reliable return. An income generating asset is something we pay upfront for in exchange for a periodic income or return. As an investor, you can find a whole range of assets to invest in, but they may not provide any return over time, such as gold, cryptocurrency, or growth stocks that don't pay any dividends. Finding the right asset to generate a return that is reliable is key. These could be in the form of real estate, investing in property, and letting it out to a tenant for rent is one of the best ways to generate a consistent and reliable return. A tenant will be expected to pay rent monthly, therefore giving you an additional monthly income. With property, you will have to factor in maintenance costs and any fees if you are outsourcing the management to an agent, as well as void periods where you may not have a tenant living there for any reason. Dividend stocks. Stocks that pay a dividend are incredibly popular for investors looking for income. Some stocks have a terrific track record for reliability of their dividends, as dividends are never guaranteed. Companies that have kept or raised their dividends over a long period of time are also known as dividend aristocrats or dividend kings, depending on how long they have done this for. On this channel, I have many examples of great companies in the United States and United Kingdom that pay steady and reliable dividends and are great examples of stocks to invest in for income. I'll leave a link in the description below or click on the banner in the top right hand corner to go there. The benefit of investing in stocks over real estate is that you can invest a small amount to begin with without having to worry about a large deposit or mortgage. Stocks can, however, be more volatile investments than property. Corporate or government bonds is another choice. These are when we purchase a bond or coupon for a price from the government or a company in exchange for interest payments over a given time period. The interest rate can vary depending on who is issuing them and their financial stability, usually represented in the form of a credit rating, i.e. their ability to pay back debt. Government bonds tend to give lower interest payments as they are seen as more secure than corporate bonds. Companies with less financial stability that carry more risk will give investors a higher yield in the hopes that they will attract them to the bond. The best advice that I can give is to invest in bonds through a fund. These are a collection of bonds managed by a fund manager which will pay out an interest payment. In general, bonds are considered safer investments than stocks, although no investment is guaranteed. An example of a fund that I invest in is the Artemis High Income Fund, one that pays a monthly interest payment of 4.66% and has also seen steady growth over the past 5 years. Now that we know what to invest in, the final step is to calculate how much we need to invest to achieve our financial freedom. Let's assume that the average annual return we will get from our investments is 3.5%. This is quite a conservative yield, and while there are many investments out there that will provide much higher yields than this, it is always better to be cautious in our calculation than overly ambitious. Take your annual expense figure that you calculated earlier and divide it by our estimated yield of 3.5% or 0.035. This will give you your amount needed for financial freedom, the sum of money invested in assets to provide a steady income to live your current lifestyle. If you now have a number calculated and you think to yourself you want to achieve financial freedom as early as possible, take a hard look at your lifestyle. Are there aspects of it that you could cut down on that you would not miss that much? Are there unnecessary expenses or subscriptions that you pay constantly that don't add much value to your life? Cutting these out can have a significant impact on that final number. Working towards financial freedom should be so much more than just penny pinching and cutting costs where possible. You should also increase your value to the world. Invest in yourself and make yourself more valuable to others. Read more. Learn a skill set that you can monetize. If you do this, people and companies will recognize this and pay you more for your time and effort. Cutting costs is only one side of the coin to achieving financial freedom. Maximizing your income is much more efficient, as there's no ceiling on how much money you can make. If you got value out of learning how to calculate your financial freedom, don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing to Wise Wealth for more content on personal finance and investing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.